Welcome to Backstage Academy Live Events Together. I'm Chris Madden, Backstage Academy Student Wellbeing Officer and a registered counselling psychotherapist. In this series of 4 short films, we're exploring the impact of coronavirus on the live events industries and higher education from the context of mental health. In this 3rd episode, we're discussing what the expert panelists are doing day to day to help manage their own mental health.
Music has been incredibly helpful. I've always used music anyway. I think, it's a great affect regulator for me, whether that's listening or playing. I practice every day. I've always done that. And I find immersing myself in that just for an hour or two, whatever I do every day, it's been really grounding, really anchoring. So music, I think exercise as well, running every day, and finding 20 minutes. I've been trialing the app we were speaking about earlier. Eric was speaking about that. It's been really beneficial. I've really got a lot out of the app. I think it provides meditations, provides kind of breathing spaces, all those kind of things. And to have all those things in one area, it's been really helpful. Because I do meditate anyway, but to try and formulate that or to try and form it around something like an app which is there all the time, it's been really useful. So I've got a lot out of that, and I did dismiss it initially. I was slightly like, oh, an app. I think coming from a background of psychotherapeutic kind of hands-on training, it's easy to dismiss, but it's really surprised me actually. So I think embracing some of the digital resources that are out there has been really helpful. Music, exercise, and nutrition wherever I can. I think initially when this first thing kind of crashed down, I just spiraled. It really impacted me hugely. I was immensely triggered. My own experience regarding, therapeutic journey and trauma and stuff was really triggered. And I thought, wow, I really felt the weight of this. And this is what I said earlier about, we hold all of our own journeys and we do all of our own work on it. And then something of this magnitude can come along and really destabilize us, can really send a few things rocking. So I found myself really, nutrition out the window, exercise out the window, this real leaning towards some unhealthy behaviors, and then managed to bring it back with a real regular routine. I think exercise, meditation and music. And for me, those are always the core scaffolds, and relationship as well, people. Those are my kind of 4 primary grounding anchors, I think, that have really helped me during this time, and it's helped to stabilize me. I really feel that.
Brilliant, thank you. Eric, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, similar things to Adam, really. Without the commute to work, actually, I've had a bit more time maybe to go out for a cycle every day, which is something that I haven't been able to do in the past for a while. So I've been taking advantage of that, and I've just felt that that's really helped my mindset, from the outset of the day or at the end of the day, just decompressing and changing gear. That's been particularly challenging because, you're on a screen most of the day. And working from home in the same room, in the same space, so just trying to break it up. And like Adam kind of touched on and Rachel touched on earlier, routines and rhythms within the day, and just points that if I can have lunch at a similar time and connect with family over lunch, which is something I wouldn't normally do, but that's actually been a real gift. And I think I had a friend who was going through quite a lot personally before this all kind of kicked off, and they'd been searching for employment for a while, and then this came up, and my mate said to me when I was asking how he was doing, he said, "Hey, listen, you know what I've realised is if I can't manage thinking about tomorrow, then I'm just going to focus on like the next hour, and if I can't think about cope with that, then I'm just going to think about the next minute." And there's a real modicum of wisdom in that, and I've been trying to apply it to my kind of routine or lack of sometimes routine, when just stuff happens and you just have to shift. Relationships have been very important for me, and just connecting in with friends on a regular basis and family, and some who obviously can't see. But also I'm naturally slightly bent to being an introvert as well. So I personally recharge by myself, and that's quite challenging in a household of 5 people. So actually just carving out a bit of that time, and actually my wife's been absolutely brilliant in terms of saying sometimes, you know what, I think you need a little bit of time, and sometimes you need someone else to point that out to you. So that I found that.
Thank you for sharing, Rachel.
I think I've got the opposite problem to Eric. I live on my own, and so like many friends, many people, I don't have any direct personal contact with people, which I'm finding really challenging. And I'm finding it really hard because as a person, I really enjoy that and I get a lot out of that normally. And when you live on your own anyway, then actually when you do go into work, that's when on a day-to-day basis, you get most of your interaction with other human beings, and losing that is hard. And it's also hard when you can't just go and see your family, and you can't go and see your friends and all of the other things that you might do to kind of feel connected to other people within your normal sort of communities. And so I tend to sort of interface at the moment with people through Zoom, and that is great, and practically is a fantastic tool. But at the same time, as soon as the conversation finishes, then you're back on your own in a room. And so one of the things that I've really struggled with as a consequence of that is everything's blurring into one. And so the point that you made, Derek, is about that structure and that punctuation and finding that routine in the day, because normally through your normal interactions with other people, you normally have that. But when you don't have anybody that you're living with or anything to take you away from that, for me personally, from thinking about work, because I don't get the distraction of having to engage and be another version of myself, being a parent or being a partner, or I'm still the same me when I turn off the Zoom. So one of the things that has been really helpful for me has been connecting with lots of my other friends who are in similar situations. I think it's fair to say that within the industry, because of the changes, one of the things that a lot of my friends have experienced is very high stress levels. If you're running a company and you're having to think about furloughing, or you're having to think about the situation that your company's in, and being able to, I think we're all experiencing certain levels of stress as we're transitioning to a new way of working, a new way of communicating with each other. And actually, I found really helpful being able to talk to friends and just being able to be really open. I'm really struggling with this. And being able to talk things out and to talk things through. And then my friends who have got in touch with me and said, how did today go? How did that meeting go? I know you were worried about this. And likewise, that's prompted me to do that, for other people. And as you said earlier, Eric, that makes me feel better, because when I have the opportunity to kind of not just become introverted, but it forces me to think and put other people first. And that's been really helpful. So silly things, but things that are really important to me, like my niece's birthday, and putting a lot of effort into, even though I can't sort of see my niece, thinking about, what and connecting with her and talking to her about what she's doing at homeschooling and things like that. Anything that takes me out of the temptation just to become entirely introverted. It also doesn't help. I live somewhere quite isolated, so I easily on an evening can walk for an hour and I won't see another person. Okay. So yeah, so it's exactly the opposite to Eric, which is interesting.
I've got a surprise question, and it's a final one. So this is about just kind of digging in and being intuitive through this experience, and whenever we're going to come out the other side of it. Do you think you will do things differently to how you have been before?